We started Bloomberg West because we know that business doesn't stop in New York. A lot of the programming that we see on business and finance TV is concentrated in New York with New York companies based around the stock market. And that's really a small picture of what actually happens in the world. So by basing a show in San Francisco, we immediately changed the geography and the focus of what we're covering to the companies that are actually driving innovation and technology and jobs in the U.S. So Bloomberg West, our studio's in the San Francisco bureau of Bloomberg News, right on the Embarcadero. We've got the Bay Bridge in the background. It looks really great. We've had to, over the last 6 months, build out the infrastructure of the bureau. We've put in camera, put in lines, put in the teleprompter and all those things. We've hired staff. We've doubled, tripled, even quadrupled the number of television people in San Francisco as the Bloomberg News coverage has increased. There's 65 reporters and editors now focused on those San Francisco companies in Silicon Valley, companies that are in the headlines all the time, the Facebooks, the Apple, the Googles, companies that are growing at exponential rates while we continue to grow at a pretty fast pace to cover them.
What's the mix of the program itself?
So that we're going to have a lot of interviews with company leaders. We're looking for CEOs of, I'd love for Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Jobs to come anytime, open invitation. Knowing that that's not going to happen all the time. It is venture capitalists, CEOs of companies, people that are making decisions about their companies, people that can explain to us why these companies are working, where they're looking for innovation, for change for themselves to grow. The fun companies that are making a lot of change in our lives, that are forcing us to change the way we go about watching television, driving our cars, what kind of computers we use. They're not even computers now, our tablets. They're out there. And those are if you're interested in that kind of business, if you're interested in how they work, then this is the show to come and watch. We're not going to cover Wall Street the way that business television has covered it. We might not cover it much at all at 6 o'clock in the East and 3 o'clock on the West. And there's a replay at 11 o'clock, don't forget. We're not going to cover that stuff much at all because we want to change the focus of the stories that we cover. One of the unique advantages that Bloomberg Television has is that we can stream our program 24/7 online. Our competition can't because of the agreements they have with cable providers. A few years ago, I think people would look at Bloomberg and think that that was a disadvantage, that we weren't in as many homes as other people. Now it's kind of becoming an advantage because as more people consume the media in different ways, as you're walking around with your iPad and streaming a TV program, you can do that with Bloomberg and you can't do that with other people. So we're not just a program that you can see at the time, the appointment time on television. We're a program that you can watch on your laptop. We're also a program that you're going to consume whenever you want because on Bloomberg.com and on our iPad app, you're going to see our interviews pretty quickly after they're on TV.
But is the show available on demand in its entirety online, or is it more by clips?
I think people would want to consume it more by clips. I don't watch a lot of shows online unless it's Glee. I don't watch a lot of shows online in its entirety. I don't have the time. I really want, if I'm interested in Apple, I'm going to look for the interviews with the Apple guys. But yeah, it is going to be available in its entirety online, yeah.
There's been a lot of success and failures in tech TV. Why is this the time, and why now for Bloomberg?
I think Bloomberg West as a show is a signal of our changing focus as a network. That San Francisco and LA and Seattle, but we're hubbed in San Francisco, is a place where you're not just going to see a robust coverage at 6 o'clock at night. I think you're going to start seeing more at 6 in the morning and at 10 in the morning and at 2 in the afternoon about stories that matter, that aren't just about financial statements and profits and loss. They're about jobs. They're about things that you actually do, things that you use. They have more impact on your life.
It must be great in San Francisco to have you guys there, I suppose. You've been out there. There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of talent. How is it organizing an operation out there?
Expanding is always a challenge. When you get to hire new people, it's a challenge and an opportunity. I think the community out there is excited every time I've had a conversation with somebody in the business community from San Francisco, and I've had lots of them, the immediate reaction is, you guys have finally figured it out. Why isn't everybody out here? I think that we're going to have to retrain some people that are interested to watch TV. I don't think that that's it's not something that everybody does, which is why our web component is so important. I think the West Coast, LA and San Francisco, they don't think of, prime time on the East is the middle of their day on the West. They don't watch. We need to give them things to watch. And they also aren't guests because they don't watch. So there's a lot of people that are desperate to get their message out, and we're going to be a good place for them to come.
Why are you putting your stake in Rockmail, a more social browser?
Yeah, well, we think there's a really big opportunity to basically reinvent the browser. So first is the browser market has really opened up.